There's a new gang in town, a group of very young illegal migrants who call themselves Los Diablos de la 42 after their hunting ground in Times Square. They're a sub-cadre of Venezuela's feared Tren de Aragua gang, which has been making inroads not only in New York but around the country. Here, though, their continued rampages against tourists and locals alike, which have included gunpoint stick-ups in the Times Square area and at other tourist hotspots, have largely gone unpunished in what can only be described as a perfect storm of terrible progressive policy. Here's a little explainer on how that works. New York in recent years raised the age of criminal responsibility to 18, which means that even 16 and 17-year-olds can commit crime after crime while facing no real consequences. This crew of violent kids definitely has benefited from that law. As a group, they have some 50 known offenses, but not one of them has spent any time in jail over them. Again, that's because they're not considered criminally responsible. It's also an artifact of our absolutely demolished bail eligibility laws, which allow woke judges to set assailants free time after time after time, even for increasingly escalated and violent offenses, until they finally commit a crime bad enough to really merit pretrial detention. Then we can add to that the fact that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden opened the border from day one in office, allowing millions of illegal migrants to stream across our southern border, more than 200,000 of which have arrived in New York City, and of course, hidden among them were, as you might imagine, gangbangers like those in Tren de Aragua, looking for fresher fields and greener pastures. We have this perfect storm of policies that are ostensibly meant to serve humanitarian purposes, to help asylum seekers find asylum, to make sure that kids too young to understand the nature of their crime don't face adult punishment. Instead, they're very much having the opposite effect, both on the locals and tourists suffering from the predations of Los Diablos de la 42, and on the kids themselves, some of whom seem to be as young as 11, which means that they were likely recruited into this work through pressure and intimidation by older gangbangers looking for kids who can commit crimes and walk away scot-free.